3i Atlas has all kinds of surprises. It looks like a tail is beginning to form, though scientists don't really know why. Right now, a 73 trillion pound object is hurtling through our solar system at 124,000 miles per hour, and it's not from here. Scientists have detected extreme negative polarization in its light, signature something never seen in any comet before. The object's trajectory is aligned within 5 degrees of Earth's orbital plane, and it passed suspiciously close to Mars, with timing so precise that the probability is less than 1 in a million. The object is massive, and it's also perfectly aligned with the plane of the planets around the Sun. Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb assigns a 30–40% probability that this object isn't entirely natural. Even more unsettling, during the recent government shutdown, NASA's data feeds went dark precisely when this object made its closest approach to Mars. 3i Atlas has shattered every rule we thought governed interstellar objects. Here's what should terrify you most. If this object is artificial, it's been watching us. Think about it. The most important question is whether it's technological or purely natural. Hopefully, we'll know more in the coming days. 3i Atlas approached from a direction where extraterrestrial observers could have detected Earth's transits across the Sun. According to Loeb's calculations, any civilization within a 10-degree-long cone of our ecliptic plane could have discovered our solar system through transit surveys. Just like we find exoplanets, they'd know exactly where our planets orbit and which one harbors life. The object's 5-degree alignment places it right inside that detection zone. If someone sent this probe after observing Earth, they've been watching us for thousands of years, waiting for the right moment to arrive. If you're fascinated by mysteries like this, hit that subscribe button. We're tracking this object in real time. For months, people have been asking the same terrifying questions about 3i Atlas. The answers are far more disturbing than you might expect. This interstellar visitor has 7 documented anomalies that scientists can't fully explain. Unlike the cigar-shaped Oumuamua or the typical comet Borisov, this object defies categorization. Let's start with the most unsettling fact: its impossible mass. At over 73 trillion pounds, 3i Atlas is roughly 6 million times heavier than SpaceX's Starship, the most powerful rocket ever built. This mass estimate comes from Harvard researchers who noticed something bizarre. Despite visible outgassing that creates a cloud around it, the object's trajectory barely changes. Normally, when comets release gas, they get pushed around like a balloon, letting out air. Not this one. It's so massive that these jets barely affect its path. Here's where it gets stranger. According to our understanding of interstellar space density, there simply isn't enough rocky material out there to deliver an object this massive into our inner solar system. Loeb calculated that, based on the known distribution of matter between stars, we should have seen hundreds of smaller objects before encountering something this huge. We haven't. As Loeb stated, there's not enough rocky material in interstellar space to deliver such a giant rock into the inner solar system. The timing raises even more questions. On October 3, 2025, 3i Atlas passed within 18 million miles of Mars, close enough for our rovers and orbiters to capture unprecedented images. The Perseverance rover recorded something moving across the Martian sky, a slanted streak that didn't match normal star trails. But here's the kicker. Just as this historic flyby occurred, NASA's websites and data feeds went silent due to the government shutdown. The timing feels awfully convenient, when the world's scientists were desperate for real-time updates. What we did manage to capture before the blackout is deeply puzzling. The object appears elongated, more like Oumuamua than a typical round comet. It lacks the dramatic tail we'd expect from something this active. Instead, it's surrounded by a diffuse coma of ionized gas behaving unlike anything in our databases. The chemical composition adds another layer of mystery. Scientists detected cyanide and carbon monoxide, not unusual for comets, but also found evidence suggesting the environment around 3i Atlas resembles Mars-like conditions, rather than typical comet-forming regions. This hints the object might have originated from a planetary surface, not the icy depths of space where comets are born. Its behavior around the Sun defies expectations too. On September 25th, a coronal mass ejection, basically a solar storm, struck 3I Atlas directly. Scientists expected the blast of charged particles to dramatically alter it, maybe even break it apart. But follow-up observations on September 27th and October 2nd showed nothing dramatic. No fragmentation, no sudden tail formation, just gradual expansion of its envelope. It's almost as if the object is more resilient than any natural comet should be. Here's what really keeps scientists up at night: the polarization anomaly. When sunlight bounces off dust around comets, it creates a measurable pattern. Every comet ever studied shows positive polarization at large viewing angles. 3I Atlas shows negative polarization, minus 2.17% at a phase angle of 6.4 degrees. More extreme than any comet ever observed. This means the dust around it is fundamentally different from anything in our solar system. The particles might be rougher, more irregular, or composed of materials we've never seen before. The trajectory itself tells another story. Unlike random debris, 3I Atlas moves on a path almost perfectly, aligned with the plane of our solar system. The probability of this happening by chance is 0.02% or 1 in 500,000. Now consider this. It passed close to Mars, will pass near Jupiter on March 16, 2026, and arrived just in time to encounter multiple planets. The combined probability of these coincidences is less than 1 in a million. From an engineering perspective, if you wanted to study multiple planets efficiently, you'd design a trajectory that stays close to the ecliptic plane. You'd time your arrival to maximize planetary encounters. That's exactly what 3I Atlas is doing. The object will pass within 33.5 million miles of Jupiter, close enough for detailed observation if it carries instruments. As Loeb points out, if this trajectory was designed by extraterrestrial intelligence, the 5-degree inclination makes perfect sense. It's the optimal angle to observe transits of main belt asteroids, which exist about 10 degrees above and below the ecliptic. Some scientists propose an even wilder theory. Dr. Suzanne Fannier suggests that objects like 3I Atlas might be planetary seeds, massive interstellar cores that could jumpstart planet formation when entering young solar systems. If true, some of Jupiter's mass might have come from an ancient interstellar visitor. The speed is another red flag. Currently racing at 37 km/s relative to Mars, 3I Atlas will accelerate to 42 km/s near the Sun. That's $150,000 per fast enough to circle Earth in under 10 minutes. This isn't unusual for interstellar objects, but combined with its mass, it represents tremendous kinetic energy. If this were artificial, it would demonstrate technology far beyond human capability. The size estimates keep growing as we get better data. Initial observations suggested something modest, maybe a few hundred feet across. Now we're looking at a nucleus roughly 3 miles wide. Solid material, not counting the surrounding gas cloud. That's larger than the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs. Imagine a mountain-sized object flying through space at speeds that could cross the US in under 2 minutes. The European Space Agency may be our last hope for answers. While NASA went dark, ESA's Mars Express and ExoMars Trace Gas Orbiter continued their observations. The upcoming JUICE spacecraft will intercept 3I Atlas in November 2025. Though data transmission delays mean we won't see results immediately, these observations could finally reveal whether the object has any unusual surface features or internal structures. What makes this truly terrifying isn't any single anomaly, it's the pattern. Every measurement pushes the boundaries of what's naturally possible. The mass is too large, the composition is too strange. The timing is too perfect, the trajectory is too precise. Scientists call this a black swan event. Something so unlikely, it forces us to rethink everything. Avi Loeb puts it bluntly. Those insisting 3I Atlas is purely natural must explain all 7 anomalies through natural processes. So far, no one has. The object seems to glow in ways regular comets don't. Some predict it may evaporate or break apart near perihelion in late October. Others think it might remain intact. The most unsettling possibility, that 3I Atlas represents what Loeb calls a Trojan horse, technology masquerading as a natural object. The perfect camouflage would be something that looks almost like a comet but not quite, just different, enough that careful observation reveals the truth, but similar enough to avoid immediate detection. Consider the implications. If an advanced civilization wanted to study other solar systems, what better way than sending probes disguised as comets? They could gather data for millions of years, drifting between stars and occasionally passing through systems like ours. The 5-degree alignment, the resilience to solar storms, and the precision trajectory all make sense if it's engineered. We're not saying 3i Atlas is definitely artificial. The scientific consensus still leans toward natural origins, but the accumulation of anomalies has reached the point where even conservative scientists are asking uncomfortable questions. This object is forcing us to confront possibilities we've always relegated to science fiction. As 3i Atlas approaches the sun, we're running out of time to study it. By December 19, 2025, it will pass 167 million. It will pass 167 million
miles from Earth, our last good viewing opportunity before it disappears forever into interstellar space. Whatever secrets it holds, we have only weeks left to uncover them. After that, it becomes another mystery lost to the cosmic dark. The universe just got a lot stranger, and potentially a lot more crowded. Whether 3i Atlas is natural or artificial, it's shown us that interstellar visitors can be far more massive, complex, and mysterious than we ever imagined. The next one might be even more unusual. And if this one taught us anything, it's that we need to be ready. If this video opened your eyes to the mysteries lurking in our solar system, hit that like button and subscribe for updates as we track 3i Atlas toward the sun. Drop a comment with your theory about what this object really is, and share this with someone who thinks space is boring. This will change their mind.